Do you know there are more deaths in the U.S. each year from tobacco-related products than HIV, drugs, alcohol, suicides, car crashes, and all those sorts of things combined? Hi, my name is Justin Floor, and cigarettes don't only harm people that smoke them, they harm people around them and the environment. 53,000 people die each year from secondhand smoke. So, like me, I don't smoke cigarettes, but my dad does. I could be one of those people that die each year because my dad smokes cigarettes and I'm always around him all the time, and I inhale his fumes and all that stuff. Like I said, I'm interested in this because I'm around cigarettes all the time, whether it's at work or like people outside, like smoking at that corner or the smoking corner, whatever you call it. Also, 443,000 people that do smoke cigarettes are dying each year, and it's a preventable death. So why are 443,000 Americans dying each year that we can prevent? Right now, we're going to talk about why cigarettes are a problem in the U.S. today, and shortly after, we're going to talk about a solution on how we can fix this problem. So first, let's get to the problem. Cigarettes, you inhale them, go through your mouth, down your throat, in your lungs, and then into your bloodstream, and goes right to your brain and heart. And that's when the chemicals come into place. Some chemicals, like I said up on the board, like nicotine, arsenic, acetone, lead, formaldehyde, benzene, all these chemicals, like this is found in gas, like crude oil, tar, like it's just ridiculous the amount of stuff that they put in there. And these stuff like clog up your arteries, you can shorten your veins, make your bones real weak. Some of the positives, I guess you would say, like that people think they're getting out of it is like giving them an adrenaline rush, wake them up in the morning, or stress relief. Like I said before, there's 443,000 people dying each year because of smoking cigarettes, and that's from the CDC. That's 1 in every 5 deaths each year, the total deaths each year. I think it comes out to 1,200 deaths a day from smoking cigarettes. That's just terrible. 83,000 people die each year from lung cancer, and that's from smoking cigarettes. 90% of those are men, and 80% are women, and that's from the CDC. All lung cancer, though, all the people that die from lung cancer each year, 90% of them are from smoking cigarettes. So only 10% of them have lung cancer from some weird disease or unknown cure. One fact that I found from what's in a cigarette that really bothers me is there's 40% of male babies and 28% of male or female babies die prematurely each year, and that's just terrible because you're not even giving a baby a chance to live. And if they were born, they might be able to like convince you to stop smoking cigarettes as a parent and stuff like that. One sickness you get from smoking cigarettes is bronchitis, and that's like common around here. Bronchitis is when your bronchial tubes get irritated and inflamed, and that causes more mucus, and this is what develops smoker's cough. And cigarette smokers just keep coughing up mucus, and sometimes in the summer it gets real dry because of the climate and all that stuff. But that goes for emphysema too. Emphysema is just like bronchitis. From the CDC, the osteoporosis is found in older women, and this is when the chemicals in cigarettes like thin out your bones, and it's just, that's why like when you see your like grandmom or like older people, that's why they can like break like fingers so easily, and they're always like moving around slow and stuff like that. Peripheral vascular disease, also known as PVD, is when your veins get clogged up from chemicals in the cigarettes, and not enough blood can get out to your limbs. So once you're like, if you get like an infection on your finger, and you've been a long time smoker, enough blood can't get to your finger and clear out that disease, and that's when you have to get your finger amputated or something like that. And you'll see pictures later in my PowerPoint on examples like that. Health risks from what's in a cigarette. Smoking cigarettes gives you 2 to 4 times the chance of getting coronary heart disease. 2 to 4 times the chance of stroke, and in men and women, it gives you 23 times the chance of lung disease, and that's just crazy. Here's a video of what you could maybe look like.
I'm married, and I usually be a smoker. I want to give you some tips about getting ready in the morning. But you're there. Then your hands with the body. And now you're ready for the night.
I'm sure you guys seen that PowerPoint video before in middle school and health classes, high school. Here's another just picture of cancers you can get. Cervix cancer is 1%, lung cancer is 78%, larynx 2%, esophagus 5%, pancreas, and then you guys can read the rest. That's only if you smoke cigarettes. That's not secondhand smoke. Like I said before, 53,000 people die from secondhand smoke each year, so that's like not you smoking a cigarette, just involuntary. Like just walking past that corner up there, you can inhale that smoke and you could be part of that 53,000. Tobacco is or nicotine and tobacco combined in a cigarette is Group A chemical according to Surgeon General. So that's also Group A chemicals are like acetone and other chemicals like that that are like really poisonous. Environmental tobacco smoke that's what I inhale as a secondhand smoker. It's ETS, and in cigarettes they have filters. For smokers, they smoke it and it goes through the filter and they blow out the smoke. Well, the stuff we're inhaling is not filtered, so it's 10 times worse. If you smoke indoors, you get 6 times the chance of getting secondhand smoke or stuff like that. And if you like restaurants, like waiters and stuff like that, if they have like smoking inside, they could also have like 10 cigarettes a day worth of secondhand smoking. There was a dog experiment, and 20 dogs were used. 10 dogs were experienced the smoke, and 10 dogs were not. And from that experiment, for being a year, some of those dogs had immune system problems that were along with the smoke, and without the smoke, they didn't have any problems. They're just healthy dogs. And smoking in the environment, there's an experiment, and they tested environment in the forest, and they found tobacco, like particles of tobacco, not particles, but like signs of tobacco in like the water and trees and grass. And that's bad because, I mean, it didn't really affect anything now because tobacco is like a natural plant, but in the future, if we keep on smoking, it could be really bad. So some of our solutions are just to stop buying cigarettes for me, protest, tell people, spread the word, and yeah. What it would look like is we could live a lot of cancer-free lives. The diseases would go a lot further down than they are now. Air would be a lot cleaner. Our pets would be a lot healthier. We'd all save a lot more money. Without your individual health, this movement's not going to go anywhere. So cigarettes are harmful to not only the smoker, but to us secondhand smokers and the nature. So remember that, and hopefully you help me out.